We're talking with Leonie Hyamson. She is the executive director of Class Size Matters based in New York City. And Leonie is arguing for what I would call the progressive traditional side of education reform. We shouldn't use such a crude measurement as test-based evaluation for teachers. Marcus Winters, senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute. Is test-based evaluation for teachers an acceptable form of evaluating teachers, an effective method?
Well, I think that using test scores to evaluate teachers is effective as one part of a rich evaluation system. So I know very few people who argue in favor of using test scores in this way who would argue that we should use test scores exclusively to evaluate teachers. So test scores are not perfect for that, one, because they don't tell us everything we want to know about teachers, and second, because they are not. There is some noise in the measurement, right? They're not an absolute perfect measure of the teacher's contribution to student learning either. There's some randomness that's built into the system. I would take. Sorry, I missed Leonie's her full response. The one thing I did catch though was the discussion of the reliability of these measures. I would say that they are certainly imperfect, but they've gotten much better over time. And to say that there are no reliability in these measures, I think is just absolutely wrong. That we know from prior empirical research that these things do correlate year to year over time, not as well as we might hope in the perfect system, but much better than other measures that we have. That they provide us with information about a teacher's performance in the classroom that we're missing under the current evaluation system, whereby the vast majority, almost all teachers, are rated as effective or better under the current system. So test scores are an important piece to an evaluation system. They provide us with information that we're just not using right now in order to evaluate the most important asset that public schools have at their disposal, which is the quality of their teachers.
Leonie, how about it? If the current evaluation system means that there's almost 100% of approval for teachers, isn't that a little bit too lenient?
Well, absolutely, that's too lenient, and I think there are much better ways of evaluating teachers. For example, the method that was done in Montgomery, Alabama, called the PAR evaluation system, in which peers evaluated each other. And what they found is small but significant numbers of teachers were found ineffective even after support and were let go. And actually, it's much more effective at identifying poor teachers and letting them go than the recent system that's been imposed by Race to the Top and in many states that has a value-added component. And so what we're finding with even the systems that have a large value-added test score component, very, very few teachers are being identified as ineffective. So I think it's a system which, and I also disagree. I think something like 20% of the people who are found in the top quintile 1 year of teachers are found in the bottom quintile in the next year. And that's a huge, huge degree of randomness and unfairness, especially when teachers can be fired after 1 or 2 years of being found ineffective. So I think there are better ways to evaluate teachers. I think we have models across the country of places that are doing that. The Montgomery County system was not allowed to get Race to the Top money because it did not have test scores as an explicit component of the system, even though test scores could be looked at. It did not include that in the formula. And we're really completely going off the edge and in the wrong direction.
So Montgomery, Alabama did not get Race to the Top money.
It's actually Montgomery County, Maryland, that had a long-standing teacher evaluation system called the PAR system, in which peers went in, evaluated teachers, gave support for a year or two, and if the teacher didn't improve, the teacher was let go. And a higher percentage of teachers were found ineffective and were let go in that system than in some of the new systems that have arisen that include test scores. And it's considered much more fair, much more reliable, and a much more positive policy that actually ensures that the teachers working in our classrooms every day are quality teachers that know how to do their job.
We're gonna have to go to break right now on Take Action News, but we're gonna continue this debate after a short commercial break. And we're going to get Marcus Winter's response on whether the Montgomery County system in Maryland is a better system for evaluation, and also talk about issues like class size and teachers' unions if we can. When Take Action News continues after this.